y'all, and welcome to the Crazy Sock Lady YouTube channel. My name is Kayla and this is my channel where I share all about my making adventures. Today I have all knitting for you. I have a couple of finished objects, some works in progress, including a new cast on. So I hope that y'all are doing well. I hope you had a good week since we last chatted. Today is Thursday, February 27th. It is just after 10 a.m. and this is episode 267. You can find me on Instagram and RAVELRY as The Crazy Sock Lady, and I will have links right down below this video in the description box for everywhere that you can find me. I am most active over on Instagram. I try to share daily in my stories what I'm up to, what I'm working on, so definitely follow me over there if you want more of a peek into everyday life around here. And there will also be links down below for any shops that I talk about. All of my Ravelry project pages will be linked down below. If you want more information on a project that I show here, that is the best place to check. I try to take notes if there's anything to take notes on. There's not always. Link any patterns that I've used for that project. Have needle sizes, yarns, all of that is going to be right over there for you. We are all feeling so much better around here. Thank y'all so much for any prayers and good wishes you sent our way. I am hoping the sickness is out of the house. So many of you said you have been sick as well, so I hope you are all feeling better also. No one's missed school this week because they're sick, so it's been good around here. Both the kids are in school. So finished objects. I have two finished objects today. I did finish a pair of socks for my youngest son, so I will put a picture of them up here because as soon as I finish socks for him, I just gift them to him. So those have already been given. He's already worn them. But this was out of Regia. It was Regia Design Line by Arnie and Carlos, and the number is 03762. And this was pair 13 for the year, and I started them on February 12th and finished them on February 21st. Those I just did vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars, 25 rounds of knit 2 purl 2 ribbing for the cuff, 80 rounds for the leg of straight stockinette, just knitting, and I don't think there's anything else about those. Those were very fun to do. It's been a while since I've worked with a Regia yarn and it was a lot of fun. I'm like, why don't I work with it more often? And I have this whole shelf of, well, it's not all Regia, some's Opal and different things, but yeah, it makes me want to grab another one out of there, or maybe some Knit Picks Felici. Kind of was thinking today, maybe I wanted to grab some of that to work with. So we'll see. I need to decide. You'll see in my works in progress, my current pair of vanilla socks, I always have at least one just plain vanilla that I can take on the go, work on the treadmill, or while I'm doing my Bible study. Those are so close to being done. So I need to, today, pick out yarn for my next pair of vanilla socks and get those started. But the other thing that I finished the scarf that I was working on. So this is out of 3 by the Sea Designs yarn, their Night Divine Minis set. And this was originally going to be for me, but I think it is going to go to my oldest niece because this is just perfect for her. So this one I did not close up. You can see it's not a cowl. It is just a scarf. I knit it in the round though. So I cast on 100 stitches on a US 4 3.5 millimeter needle. It is fingering weight yarn. And just knit in the round. I did 23 rounds per color and then just switch colors. And I just went down till I got to the last mini right here. It looks red on the screen, but it is a pink. And I did 46 rounds of this and then went back in with the other minis in the other direction. And I think it's perfect. It would have been great for me as well, but I was like, this is for her. That's who this is for. So I will be probably setting this aside. I think that's what I'm going to do, is just set it aside for next fall. Her birthday's in the fall, so, you know, we're getting into, everyone's wanting warmer weather right now. I just don't want to gift a scarf that, I mean, she'll still love it. It's not that she's not going to love it, but it's just gonna set for the summer anyways, so I'll just hold it here, set it aside for her birthday gift. Puts me a little bit ahead for birthday knitting for her. I don't think there was anything else about that. I used about 200 grams of that for that total. All those minis, I weighed it. I think it was like 202 grams if I'm remembering correctly. So I did not, for some reason, put a start date on the Ravelry project page, so I do not remember exactly what day I started that, but I did finish it on February 25th. Works in progress. I have 4. You have seen all but one of these. Just show this one first. This is the Woolen Women Fibers March box. This was the bag that came with it. And these are my current pair of vanilla socks. Trying to remember which one's a little further along, because that one's the one, this one's ready for the toe. Show you this one. So the theme for the March box for Woolen Women Fibers, a woolen yarn box, is denim and daisies. And I get the one with the sock set. So there is a mini skein. I used that for the heel. I am doing these on 9-inch circulars, just my vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. If you're wondering about all these markers, I do count my rounds with them, and I have a video showing how and why I do that. That's linked in the description box below. What else about these? So for these, I've noticed with socks I've done out of this base that are just plain vanilla, that they fit a little bigger than my other socks when I do a 64 stitches, which is the size medium in my patterns. So for this one, I went down to a size small, and I think it looks like it's gonna fit. I haven't tried it on yet because it's on 9-inch circulars. I thought I'll just finish it and try it on, and if it does not fit, I will put it in the cabinet back here with socks that I put to gift, and I will gift them. But I think it looks like it's going to fit. So we will see. I will update you when they are done. I did 25 rounds of knit 2 purl 2 ribbing for the cuff, 60 rounds for the leg. I do have the progress keepers on here that came in the box also. If you can see that, it's like a pocket with a little daisy on it. And then there's a little daisy, super cute. So yes, this one's ready for the toe. This one is almost to the toe. So I may go ahead and try to finish these off today. We'll see as time allows. I'm undecided on if I'm going to do the toe in the yellow. I might. I think it would look pretty. So I might do the toe in that mini also. Here is their label. And the base is an 80-20 fingering. And yeah, the ribbed socks I've done with this base fit great in 64 stitches. The ones I've done plain vanilla in 64 stitches, they're just a little too, not that they're too big. I still wear them, they still fit. They're just not as snug as I like my hand knit socks to be. So that's why I thought I would try going down to a size small. And for my 9-inch circulars, I always use US 0.2 millimeter for 9-inch because my gauge changes on 9-inch circulars. It is looser. All right, next pair. I am not even sure if I have worked on these since the last episode, so I don't know if they're in the same spot or not. I got on a mission with the scarf and the socks using the leftovers from that, which you'll see in just a moment. So these got set to the back burner a bit. So I honestly don't remember if I've worked on them. They are in a bag from Midwest Stitches. Her shop is no longer open, but definitely head over and check out her podcast. She has a great podcast here on YouTube. But yes, I love this cute little bag. And this is the February Yarnable colorway. For these socks, the name is Cupid's Bow. And I have both of them started. This is the second one. I've not done much. The first one I am in the middle of the heel, which is very rare for me that I don't just make sure I finish that off. But like I said, these just got pushed to the back burner. So I am doing my Mahogany Run socks. I blanked on the name there for a minute. Mahogany Run socks pattern. This is one of my designs. So pretty in this yarn. I have a progress keeper on here from the Littlest Charm Co. Little sugar cookie shaped like a heart. And not too much else to say about these because I really am not sure if I have even touched these. I just grabbed the bag just in case I had, but I can't remember where I was last week. So these may look exactly the same as the last time that you saw them. When I finish this next pair of socks I'm going to show you, those will be the ones I pick up probably. I do still have my Valentine's socks that I'm using the Valentine's mini set from Barnyard Knits for. Those are still going. Didn't bring those down to show because I have not touched those. So once I finish this pair you're going to see right now, I will pick up one of those two. Those two will be next to be finished up. These socks are in a bag from Barley Pearls. And this is using up the leftovers from this scarf. And then I'm also using the gold colorway, also from 3 by the Sea Designs. The minis and the gold colorway are from them. All on their fingering weight Sanibel base. And look at these. Oh my goodness. I love them so much. So again, vanilla socks, 9-inch circulars, 25 rounds of knit 2 purl 2 ribbing for the cuff, and I did the cuffs in the gold. Then for the leg, I striped 11 of the 12 minis. There was 12 minis total in that mini set, the Night Divine mini set from 3 by the Sea Designs. I did not use the 12th one in this because I did the cast on and the bind off with it. So I knew I would not have quite as much yarn in that mini left as I did the others. So I just omitted it from the socks. But for the leg, I did 11 minis, 5 rounds each mini. Then I did total right here in this gold, that's 10 rounds, halfway through that. So on the 5th round, I did the heel flap for that. And then I started in with the minis in the opposite direction for the foot. I am doing 3 rounds per mini for this, for the reason that this first purple one, so when I got to the foot, what I did is I knit 1 round on like this sock. I don't remember exactly which one, but let's just say 1 round on this sock, pulling from the inside of the leftovers, 1 round pulling from the outside of the leftovers, and then I just kind of went back and forth. 1 round, 1 round, 1 round, 1 round, and I had 3 rounds on each, and I saw I did not have enough for a 4th round. So I just went ahead and finished that off, and then I've done 3 rounds of every color since. And it's looking so good. I'm so pleased with these socks. I still have a lot of ends to weave in. I always just wait with scrappy socks and weave them in after they're done. I do have a tutorial for how I do that and how when I do that, like my trick for closing up any gaps that you have. It's basically just pulling it snug, tying a little knot kind of, and then weaving in your ends. But I show that on the tutorial that is linked in the description box below. Anything else about these? So when I finish off the minis, I have, how many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 minis left. That will not finish the foot, but I'm just going to then start back up with the gold and finish off the rest of the sock with the gold. I cannot wait to see how these look completely done. I haven't been able to stop working on these. All right, I have one more work in progress. This one is a new cast on. I have it in a bag from Mountain State Stitches. And I started a shawl. So this, I will put the pattern name and the designer name here on the screen. The shawl name is Reflection. This is a pattern I have had saved on Ravelry. I purchased the pattern on Ravelry years and years and years ago. So many years ago. And I really wanted to make it. I just never got around to it. I did buy this yarn, again, years and years and years ago, for this pattern. I don't know, I just never felt like I'm gonna cast that on. But somebody that I know really could use some extra prayers right now. They could use a prayer shawl. And as soon as I thought I'm gonna make them a prayer shawl, this was the first thing that popped in my mind. Why? I don't know, because I haven't thought about this shawl. I haven't been in the cabinet where this yarn is. It was like over here. I haven't been in that cabinet, in that yarn in ages. This just popped in my head. So I was like, well, this shawl and this yarn were waiting for this time and this person. So I started it. So I am treating this as a prayer shawl. And typically with that, what I do is every time I sit down to work on this, I say a prayer for this person. And then as I'm working on it throughout it, I'll say little prayers for them. But I just make sure, especially every time I sit down to work on this, I say a prayer for this person. And once it is done, I will block it and all of that, and then send it off to this person. The yarn, let me show you the yarn, and then I'll show you my progress so far. So the yarn is Into the World Yarn and Fiber Co. Their Saratoga Sport. The colorway is O negative. The writing's kind of small in there, so I don't think you'll really be able to read that, but here is the color. It's a very beautiful color. I have 4 skeins of it, and I feel like I've hardly used any of the first one. I haven't checked my gauge, so you know. I don't ever do that. But I still have quite a bit to go in the knitting. I'm not too far into it. But here's my progress so far. I have it on fixed circulars. Chalgu red lace is pretty much any more exclusively the needles that I use. Unless I say I'm using something else. That's usually what I'm using. Unless it's DPNs pretty much. Anyways, this is a US 6 4mm. This is what the pattern called for. You can see, I think here on the screen, there is some ribbing. It's kind of hard to see, but I think once it's blocked, you'll really be able to make that out. It's such a beautiful color. I'm hoping it's going to be a pretty big shawl. It looks pretty big in all the pictures. So my hope, because I like when I do prayer shawls, for them to be fairly large shawls. So that is my hope with this. Like I said, I still have quite a ways to go on it. I'm not too far into it, but I'm really enjoying it. I've been making sure, because I want to get this done into this person. I've been making sure to work on it every single day. I just started it, I think, the day before yesterday. So this is like 2 days worth of work. It's pretty quick. I've worked a few hours each day at least. Or probably at the most, actually, a few hours each day at the most in the afternoon. So yes, really enjoying this. Hoping to have a good bit of progress by the time you see this next week. And it's crazy, I think, how I've experienced that anyways with patterns and yarns, and you buy them maybe not knowing what they're for, or maybe you intend for them to be for yourself, but then it's like they kind of find who they're meant to be for, in my experience. And yeah, as soon as I was like, you know what, this person's really on my mind, I'm gonna make them a prayer shawl. I think they would really appreciate it and could really use it. And that was just the first thing that popped in my mind. And that's happened with me so many times. And I just feel like it's wild how that happens. All right, that's all the knitting I have for today. I do not have any mail, so that's good. I think I'm going to have more out than in this month, maybe. We still have today and tomorrow, so who knows? But I may have more out than in this month. I need to find some yarn today to start my next pair of vanilla socks. I am not sure what I'm going to do. I do have some yarn caked up right there. It is, I know it's Polka Dot Creek, but I don't know what the color is. I don't have the tag anymore. So maybe I'll do that. Or maybe I'm really just wanting to grab some Regia or some knit picks, so I might do that as well. I did write down what I've been reading and watching. Reading, I am still reading the Edge of Clap series by Kyla Stone, and I am on book 3 for that one. That's what I read before bed, so it's kind of slow going for that. And then I have had a lot of questions about what Bible readings and Bible study plans I'm doing right now, so I thought I would go over those. I do have on my Amazon storefront, I have these things linked. So you can find those there. I also have the Bible recap website linked down below. So all of that is going to have links down there for you. The Bible plans that I'm doing right now. So I am still doing the Bible recap because I started that in March of last year. So I didn't start on January 1st. So I am still finishing up my Bible recap. That is where you read the Bible in a year. It is a chronological plan, so it kind of bounces all over in chronological order. I have like 18 days left, I think, maybe 17 or 18 days left. So I am almost done with that. And then I started January 1st because I knew I wanted to read the Bible again in a year, and I wanted to start it on January 1st. And as much as I love the Bible recap, I wanted to switch it up a bit. So I am doing the Everyday Gospel Plan by Paul David Tripp. I don't know why I'm blinking. I think it's Paul David Tripp. It's linked on Amazon. There is a little devotional book you can get, and then there's also like a full Bible that has your reading and then the devotional following it. That one just takes you start to finish through the book. It's not in chronological order, and it's just a little reading every day, a few chapters, and then a small little devotional from, I'm going to double check. I'm pretty sure it's Paul David Tripp. From him that he wrote just about your reading for the day. And then he always has a little, yes, Paul David Tripp. He always has a little extra thing you can look up, extra verses for extra encouragement from your reading. So those are the two I'm doing. I do have a little devotional linked on Amazon that's just a verse and a daily devotional that I also read every day. But those are the two kind of like study plans that I'm doing, and they're Bible in a year plans. Almost done with the Bible recap. Watching, we did finish watching Celebrity Bear Hunt with Bear Grylls. And then we watched a documentary that I did not look up the name of what it was, and I'm pretty sure it was on Netflix. It was about Gabby Petito. So we watched that, finished that, and now we are watching on Discovery Plus another documentary called The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. And there's actually a movie also. I saw the preview yesterday. Oh no, not a movie. I'm sorry. I think it's a series, a show that's coming out on Disney Plus about this Natalia Grace story. It has Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy in it. And the preview looks good for that. So it's kind of all we're watching. Nothing too crazy exciting, just a couple documentaries pretty much. We did start watching, we watched the first episode of 1923. If you've watched like the Yellowstone, all of those shows, we're not crazy about it. We loved the beginning of season 1 of 1923. Eric and I, for different reasons, some the same, we didn't like it as it went on. To me, it's so drug out. And it does not need to be drug out. And then the first episode of season 2, I was like, I'm over all of the things that I don't feel like add anything to the story. I won't go into details because I know some kids do watch this with their parents. But yeah, there was just a lot that I'm like, this is unnecessary stuff that I don't feel like adds anything to the story, and I don't want to be watching this. So I think we'll watch the next episode. We'll watch episode 2 of season 2. To kind of see, but I just feel like they're dragging it out so much, and I'm not a fan of some of the things that are included. So I don't know that we'll continue that, which is a bummer because I was really excited about 1923 when the first season started. But that's kind of it. That's all we've been watching. That's all I've been reading, all I've been watching. But I hope they all are doing well. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you again next week. Until then, happy making and God bless you. Bye.